HR supply chain, highlighting and showcasing solutions for the most complex challenges facing the industry in 21st century by our team of subject matter experts and mentors. Broadcasting every week, all year round, we will present the most up-to-date series of podcasts and webinars.
Hello and welcome to another episode of VCARE Supply Chain. This is Nur Hadi, your host. This is the first podcast in the series of supply chain sustainability, and I will be talking with Robert B. Pojasek. He is a sustainability and sustainable development consultant doing a business as Pojasek Associates LLC. Bob Pojasek also teaches an online excellent learning course in organizational sustainability at Harvard University. Welcome, Bob, and thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you. I'm the Managing Director of the Center for Corporate Performance and Sustainability. So that's where a lot of this is going to come from that I'll talk about today. This organization provides services that support efforts to implement sustainability programs in companies with a publicly available document known as the International High-Level Structure. This so-called high-level structure was written by a senior committee at the International Organization for Standardization, also known by the acronym ISO. And a lot of people don't like ISO, but they do set really good standards. The intended purpose of this document was to have the ability to revise standards and write new standards in a way they would all have the same general structure. So this would make it relatively easy to integrate standards so they would not confuse the workers. The high-level structure is published on the internet as a copyrighted document, but there is no fee for the use of this document. Since 2012, the year 2012, all new and revised standards have been written using this high-level structure. In my consulting work involving the integration of management system standards, I have parts of 39 different standards that meet the requirements of my clients with a high-level structure. In the past couple of years, the most popular service involving creating a organizational sustainability program using this high-level structure for medium-sized companies. These programs are applied using the high-level structure, using the operating facilities in the supply chain. So typically, we're not just doing the company anymore. We're looking at all the operating facilities and their entire supply chain. So they're all really working pretty much on the same platform. These programs are easily replicated at these facilities. And this is the basis of an organizational sustainability program. It's truly embedded in the organization. It takes care of different contexts and widely dispersed geographic locations and enables the program to address the uncertainty that's facing organizations using scans of the internal and external operating environment. The larger companies with award-winning sustainability reports have largely ignored this approach. Even when most of the larger firms use ISO management systems in their operations, this was not the way they wanted to organize their sustainability and or corporate social responsibility efforts. With the disruption of the pandemic and the need to rebuild the economy, we believe that change may be in the cards for the large firms, their operating facilities, and the supply chain. I have recently been appointed a member of the Education and Research Executive Board to bring this knowledge to assist VCARE in the pursuit of their global excellence in supply chain management. More and more of the suppliers are leaning on that structure and will help guide them, their organization, to their sustainability efforts. Online training can help them gather the knowledge and the skills they will need to make this happen. The Center for Corporate Performance and Sustainability offers a competency-based courses on international high-level structure for organizations' sustainability program. This structure is used by many large we expect to be used by many large corporations to create a program that leverages their new and revised ISO management system standards. The Center is looking forward to offering its first 4 courses starting in September. If you want information on the Center's effort, you can go to LinkedIn and look up the Center for Corporate Performance and Sustainability. I've been teaching a course on organizational sustainability for the past 18 years at Harvard University. Perhaps the question I hear the most is, what is organizational sustainability? So using this high-level structure, organizational sustainability is the capacity of an organization to transparently manage its responsibilities for environmental stewardship, social well-being, and economic shared value over the long term while engaging the stakeholders to maintain its social license to operate. This activity promotes global sustainability, which happens when most corporations, their operating facilities, and supply chain have attained organizational sustainability with ample contributions to sustainable development. People want to know which international management systems are used in the high-level structure to create a basic organizational sustainability program. Many large customers require that their suppliers use international standards for environmental management and health and safety management. They do this because the investors are requiring it. ISO 14001, the environmental management standard, ISO 45001, the health and safety management system, and ISO 50001, the energy management system, are all of great interest to these investors and lenders to make sure that everybody is doing the same thing. The high-level structure enables you to integrate these standards into a single integrated standard. Each of these international standards have many of the same requirements, and approximately 75% of those requirements overlap when integrating. So it's not a big deal to put 3 into 1. It's maybe sort of like 1.5 at the end. So it works pretty well. A lot of companies, once they learn about integrating, actually really want to do this. Next, we add elements from ISO 26000, the social responsibility guidelines. And then to finish this all off, we add ISO Guide 82, which is sustainability guidance. Investors, lenders, customers, and stakeholders love this approach since it is now easy to compare sustainability practices from different companies. The Center has created a means to implement the high-level structure from remote locations. Results can be shared with people that have a need to know using software-as-a-service applications. This helps facilities address sustainability as part of how they run their business, no matter where they are located. The Center uses the 6 pillars of organizational sustainability program that are found on the international high-level structure. These pillars make sure that the corporation can answer the following statements about any component of its business and supply chain. Say what you do what you say, do it effectively, and be able to prove it. Large customers and their investors love these statements. They really want to know what's going on, and they want some evidence that you're doing it. So the first pillar involves examining the internal and external context and the stakeholders of every facility that's working within the supply chain. This finds opportunities and threats as the effective uncertainty that exists in this unique context of each facility. So this context is basically the surroundings, the neighborhood, the state, the regional governments, and that sort of stuff to see what's out there that can pose opportunities and threats. The second pillar identifies the top leader at each location to help prepare and review the sustainability policy and the effect of uncertainty on the unit's objectives. The top leader has accountability for meeting the sustainability objectives as well as the strategic objectives. Finally, the leader makes sure that sustainability is operated as part of the business, never as a standalone program. The next 4 steps are the plan, do, check, act. It's a very, very popular sequence. It's been used in the quality field probably back to World War II. In the planning step, the first step, the organization sets objectives for the areas covered by the high-level structure and for implementing its plans. In the implementation, what we call the do step, the organization creates a program that will enable the objectives to be addressed. It also looks for the best opportunities identified into the context to help offset these threats. This can add value to the organization. Checking uses of the results of the management program to help internally audit the strength of the organizational sustainability program. Finally, the act step enables the organization to address the shortcomings and to adjust the program in such a way that it continually improves over time. So you can see why people like these standards. And, the companies do the standards one at a time. They never integrate them. And sustainability typically is separate. I've also been asked, how does this structure differ from the current sustainability programs that you hear about from the large corporations? Current sustainability programs are often referred to as standalone programs. They have separate goals, separate initiatives to meet those goals, and a separate report to sort of talk about to the world the wonderful things that they're doing. This information is found using the high-level structure, can be a major part of the organization's sustainability results that the customers, investors, lenders, and stakeholders are looking for. So it really makes no sense not to go over to the high-level structure. You don't really lose any sort of control on this. This should not be the company's sustainability program. This should not be how the company's sustainability program should work. It's all about sharing improvements, innovations, and learning throughout the organization and its supply chain. The center was established to help companies make this happen. I published a book on the topic of the high-level structure. It is titled Organizational Risk Management and Sustainability, a Practical Step-by-Step Guide. I use this book in my online course at Harvard University. The center is planning to offer a basic course in the high-level structure that will be held this fall on video conferencing platform. VCARE is looking at developing a set of training courses on the various elements of a sustainability program. The center will also offer courses on ways organizations can contribute to sustainable development as part of their sustainability program. We will be talking about some of the topics in future podcasts in this series. So this basically, explains what we're doing in the area.
At VCARE Supply Chain, we are committed to driving global perspective to embrace technological adaptation in improving process efficiencies. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share VCARE Supply Chain. And stay tuned for the latest updates. To learn more, visit our website www.vicaresupplychain.com. Thank you for listening to us. We look forward to seeing you at our next episode.